Hey guys, and welcome back to another What If here. Today we're doing part 3 to What If Naruto was turned into a female kitsune. And with nothing really else to say, let's get into this. So Naruto would suddenly snap open her eyes as she'd be drenched in cold sweat. Her body would feel hot, but the sweat was cold as she'd somewhat little gasps of breaths. As her eyes would rapidly look around the room as she then sat, let a sigh of relief out as she'd just think that damn dream again. Why do I keep on having it? That's the first time I've ended up joining her. I've either ended up banishing her, witnessing her, either just seen her leave or just straight up disappearing from the face of the elemental nations. So yeah, though and she'd just shake her head, and why would even you go with her? She's not even, didn't even, maybe I should have put a Anbu to Taylor to make sure nobody attacks her, but she seemed fine. And well, anyway, tomorrow the photographer's coming in so she can have her new photo done, so that she'll be, so that she'd be a ninja again. She'd somewhat think to herself though, with Naruto, as it'd be somewhat 9 o'clock and she'd woken up at 8. And she'd be walking throughout the village somewhat, as she doesn't exactly like staying in one place. And she'd somewhat sigh as she was getting more glares. Sure, she'd hid one of her tails. So instead of having 2 tails out, she only had a single tail swaying behind her, but she couldn't do nothing, of course, about it. And yeah, while she preferred both tails out, she could, though it seemed that the one time she came out with both her tails, the glares were somewhat more intensive than what they are now. And she'd somewhat just sigh as it was somewhat just annoying. Couldn't they just be thankful that she's alive and that the fox that she very much knew wouldn't really go attacking them again, but in their own feeble minds she'd thought, couldn't they be thankful that she's alive to hold back the fox? And yeah, heck, she'd thought 3 days ago to just straight up just draw upon, just overload this hill and pull on his maximum chakra that she could of the fox chakra, so that she would just lose control and go rampage and destroy all of Konoha. Though it was quite ironic that the Konoha the fox itself had told her not to, and that she would just be proved them right, which she just somewhat just ended up like that. Another sighs. She'd go, "Hey, Kura, you there?" As she'd somewhat hear a yawn, and yes, what do you want? She'd somewhat sigh and she'd go, "Well, I get that Barton probably had argued enough to allow me to, or get me to stay here, without banishing me, but you're thinking of leaving, aren't you?" And she'd go, "Yeah, well, it's been 6 days and I'm sure that glass let up slightly, but that's because I'm hiding one of my tails. Yeah, I'm not. It's just annoying. I like. I want to stay out. I want to become, well, Kage, but with them all glaring at me, I don't know. I just instead just want to kill them, want to leave, want to go somewhere where I'm appreciated, where maybe not I'm loved, but at least they could look past my ears and tail and see who I am, a shinobi that, loyal and that, and will very much push myself beyond my limits to get anything to be a success. And yet, the villagers don't seem to care. Don't care if I'm alive. Well, yeah. And I bet if I leave, they'll be damn in panic that, oh no, now she's gone, now we need to get her back type deal. So it's just annoying, and folks would go, well, you can leave right now. I should just just walk straight out. They would be after me almost instantly. Plus, I'd have to give them a reason why, and then they'd be able to somewhat track me. So, once I would, there has to be a better way around it. As the folks go, well, don't you go back to the your apartment, and guess I'll give you your first lesson, though. You got me getting new clothes. Got it. I should go. Sure. I'm not exactly a fan of what I'm currently wearing, which was a somewhat semi-restrictive dress, which really was the only thing she could somewhat buy, and shinobi that she could somewhat buy. Sure, like Tsunade, of course, gave her enough money to buy a shinobi outfit, but it was really the only thing that somewhat, not what she liked, but it was the only thing that, the only money that she'd put out, because she didn't bring all the money that Tsunade gave her, otherwise they'd probably charge her triple or quadruple the amount they actually charged her, just for the damn transport she's ran, which is pretty much yelling at anyone to try and attack her, as almost all her movements would be restrictive in some way, and so she had no qualms about getting a new one, though she'd wondering how. Anyway, though she would walk back to her home once she was in, the fox would tell, she'd walk in and walk to her bedroom, and she'd go, so what do you mean to do? Well, what want you to do as 10 or so minutes would go by, as she'd somewhat would come out of her bedroom to go into a somewhat bathroom, as sure she could validate her own tail not being there. Of course, she didn't exactly know about the shadow clones and giving back her information. So and plus, she hadn't thought of shadow clones to just make shadow clones. She hadn't thought of that. So she would just look in the mirror, and there, her somewhat snow white hair. Though the only thing that was different was there was no foxes on her head. And though the fox would then say, as though I also want you to do a minor transformation, not a full body transformation, but a minor one. And to get that as well, I want you to get rid of your whisker marks, hide them, and like say turn your eyes, maybe say and the other change would be her eyes, instead of being slit, would be circles, normal human pupils. Anyway, yeah, the fox would say, well, yeah, turn your eyes, maybe say green, brown, yellow, it's just a different colour, and also turn your hair more maybe silvery, so that they can't, obviously they won't know it's you, and also lower your chakra output to that of a civilian, so any ninjas won't know it's you that hate you. So you just nod and pass smoke later, and there'd be a somewhat silver-haired girl, though she'd also somewhat shortened her hair. And yeah, so a silver-haired somewhat orange-eyed, female with somewhat B-cup breasts. Yeah, be there, and then she'd of course take the, she wouldn't even have she would have a headband, though Tsunade told her to not wear it until a picture was taken, which would be tomorrow. So yeah, anyway, so she'd send Shen 2 or 3 blocks away from her home, and then walk out as the fox would then say to go into a obviously civilian shop, but and she'd nod and ask what I want, because this time she'd bought all the money Tsunade gave her to get a shinobi outfit or something, and Fox would say, well, the one, like the most expensive one, I should go, but isn't that just like shinobi somewhat clothing, and I could go to a shinobi store? Yes, you could, but Tsunade's pretty much banned you from taking your Hittite, and if you do, anyways, and they'd probably either tell you off because you A, look different, and B, they would have never seen you around, so they'd think you'd be a civilian pretending to be a ninja, and would somewhat obviously arrest you or that. I forgot about that. So she'd go to the expensive one, which was really just shinobi clothing. More so, what considered clothing to be different from civilian and ninja was more so if they were chakra conductive, as no civilian clothing weren't, though the high-end stores were chakra conductive, which the stuff in the clothing that made it chakra conductive actually made the clothing more resistant to wear and tear. Of course it would be, because shinobi wear them, so yeah, that's why it was considered high-end. Yeah, she'd go into the shop, and 10, 15, 20, half an hour later she'd somewhat come out looking somewhat like this, though minus the tail, of course, so she's hiding her tail, and of course her hair, tail, her ears, and also minus the sword. No sword yet. So yeah, she'd look like that. So her ears are more to the left. Yes, the left of the screen, while her ears are somewhat more, I guess, cat-like, maybe, or fox-like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. though she still have, of course, short silver hair. Anyway, yeah, with that she'd then somewhat go into an alleyway and make sure nobody's following her. Once she's confirmed that, she'd then send him into her apartment and go, okay, now, and then the fox go, well, now you can obviously release the genjutsu, and the which she would, as there'd be a puff of smoke, and yeah, well, not really, isn't how it would be back, but her eyes would be back to their baby blue, their somewhat beautiful baby blue colour, and yeah, of course, whisker marks would return, and of course, her snow hair, or her hair colour, her beautiful snow white hair, which would go down to her mid back, would return, and she'd then shapeshift back to her kitsune form. As the odd thing was, she'd somewhat moaned about having a tail. Not having it made her feel somewhat odd, like she was missing something, or it felt odd, which, yeah, of course, she's somewhat adapting to it, but obviously her mind was used to having a tail, and so not having one somewhat threw her balance off slightly, not by much, but slightly, and yeah. Anyway, Fox, and she'd go, well, how are we going to leave? So the fox would then go, well, there's a couple of different ways we could end up leaving. For one, I could tell you how you could shapeshift into your fox form, though you'd have to make sure it to be small, otherwise, yeah, you'd call pandemonia, and you'd probably end up being sealed in, possibly sealed inside for a child, and yeah, that won't be fun. And she'd go, no, it wouldn't be. And anyway, or there's wait until night and walk past them, or yeah, she'd go, well, you said something about my fox form, right? Does fox go, well, yeah, and you could also use the sanction to pretty much short, because sanction's what a short range teleportation, I think, technique. Well, that's what it seems like, so yeah. And she'd somewhat go, yeah, the fox would somewhat tell her that once he's told her how to shapeshift and she gets it right, hopefully, to then sanction kind of just outside of Konoha, and then somewhat make a run for it, or run towards snow cone, the land snow, which Naruto would then go, why the land snow? Well, Naruto, you're what we would call a snow kitsune. Snow kitsune, what's that? It's a snow kitsune or snow fox, and they're quite similar. They're just foxes that are or somewhat just more for the climate of winter. Now, you always somewhat moaned about being somewhat hot, didn't you, or it being too hot recently, which should go, yeah, and that's somewhat why, whilst in Konoha is getting colder, you being a snow kitsune, it somewhat feels like it's gotten massively hotter, and yeah, because for you currently, you should somewhat be in the snow or in a colder climate than what Kanha currently is. And anyway, plus, well, yeah, I should just go, okay, and then should ask, well, how exactly do I shapeshift into my fox form? Which then the fox would say, well, somewhat like how you did into your human form. So just imagine like a fox form, though. What I also want you to do is, once you've got that down, to imagine a somewhat say door, but you want to be smaller than the door. You want to be a normal sized fox, not to be a normal sized door. The reason why is because when you shapeshift, if you don't get the sizing right, you can end up being massively, you'd be say 10, 20, 30 foot tall instead of being like what, 8 foot, or a normal height of a fox, whatever that is. I just should concentrate on fox. And also imagine, say, your clothing, but maybe say either as a collar, as a ring around one of your paws, or or around one of your legs, or actually better yet, have like your clothes somewhat morph into something around your tail that is relatively flexible, so it can get bigger and much bigger. Now to just go okay. Well, actually, we won't head to Snow Country right away. There's another stop we'll go, but firstly, transform. Another couple of seconds would go by as you'd get the somewhat form of a fox and the correct sizing. Then there'd be a somewhat puff smoke, and once it cleared, there'd be a small normal fox height, obviously single-tailed, one-tailed normal fox with baby blue slitted eyes. Yeah, she'd go, I thought you said I'd transform somewhat more slow and I'd feel the transformation, not just puff of smoke. It's like, main reason why is you're wearing clothes. And that's kind of gonna, whilst this is somewhat obviously faster, though, I guess you can, if you want, practice going in and out of your fox form whilst having your clothes as a somewhat ring or something around your tail. Though I'd rather prefer you'd somewhat shapeshift in and out without having to worry about your clothes. And how we would do that is, firstly we'd go to Uzashiro, Uzashiro, and then into Uzugakure. Should go, why? What's that? And what's that place? Anyway, that place was the home of your clan, the Uzumaki clan. I should somewhat go wide-eyed as the fox had explained about her clan. Her and Tsunade would have, so she knew about her clan, she knew about the Uzumakis. So going to, why go to there? Well, quite simple. They normally never found, the Uzumaki clan's library, they never found it. And so when you'd go there, more or less find it and learn Funjutsu there. The reason why is because, obviously you could have, say, still on you, and then so when you're about to transform, it can seal your, seal all the clothes, you're wearing away, and then you can shift into your fox form, which you just go, okay. And plus, Frinjitsu will lead into other aspects, say like obviously teleportation. Heck, maybe you can, kind of pretty much pick lock the seal or something like that. Which you just go, sure, but I probably won't be touching the seal on my stomach until I've gotten a much better understanding. Plus, well, yeah, it's just somewhat annoying. I don't have the codes as a summon no more. So the fox can I just sign go, well, once you get out of Konoha, I guess I can give you the, I'll give you a different summoning contract. Those who go, well, you have a summoning contract. It's like, well, it's not specifically mine, it's, so, it'd be like your brother and kind of other kitsunes and foxes. It's the fox / kitsune summoning, and and if you're strong enough, you could possibly end up summoning me, though trying to summon me would probably end up summoning you, as I am in you, and and I'm not exactly sure, but if I guess somebody else were to sign it and they pump enough chakra into it, you'd probably end up appearing. So, anyway. You just go, okay, though, I should then, somewhat build up a smaller, enough chakra to get her to where she wants to be, which is just outside of Konoha, the front gate. As though then should, before she'd execute the jutsu, she'd somewhat say, sure she'd be, should be leaving no kunai, no shuriken, no weapons. So, if they'd pretty much be unarmed. So she hopes there's nothing really dangerous there, otherwise, she'd be screwed. So, I guess if the fox tells her to turn herself bigger, she can squash them, or that'd probably end up destroying the village, Izugakure, or what's left of it. So, she just somewhat shake her head. There's really nothing here. And the only thing she'd probably, possibly would have wanted to bring, which she doesn't have, which would have been her, the jumpsuit. For, remembering her past. But she didn't have it, and it was pretty much destroyed. Anyway, though, she'd disappear in a puff of smoke and would reappear just outside of Konoha. And then she'd do a beeline away from Konoha, running as fast as her somewhat paws could take her, and she was channeling chakra into them. And she was going somewhat, a decent speed for a small fox. And the fox would somewhat keep, and after an hour or two of running, the fox would go, okay, stop and I'll tell you how to enlarge yourself. Though I don't want you going too massive. I should go, okay, sure, how big as the fox would think, maybe say around, say your, like the height you was, which was around 5 foot. So just nod. As well, it should go, okay, so how do I become big? And a couple of minutes of Chroma explaining and how to increase and decrease her fox form size. Should somewhat increase it to her human kitsune formed eye level. Once she was there, she'd then let out her second tail, because why not? Then after that, she'd then go back to running, and of course running now at 5 foot, whereas a giant 5 foot two-tailed kitsune was now even faster. And eventually, after another 3 or 4 hours of running, should make it to the beach of Konoha. Not Konoha, the land of the edge of the landfire, where the landfire meets water, the ocean. And the fox would then tell her the direction that she'd need to run in to get to Uzugakure. So she'd then somewhat slowly put all 4 of her paws onto the ocean. Though once she was, of course, on the water on the ocean, she'd then somewhat slowly start walking up before running. The fox would tell her that she can now somewhat increase her size again. So should increase it another, 5 foot, so she'd be 10 foot tall, and she'd just be running at full speed. And yeah, as she'd be running across the ocean, somewhat on autopilot, with Kuruma handling the autopilot and directing her subconscious in where to go. She'd just be enjoying the somewhat cooler sea breeze against her snow white fur, as she just let a somewhat contentive sigh as the fox would go, what's up? As she'd go, nothing, it's just nice just being able to, I guess, run like this. I can see why you somewhat I can see why you hardly go into your human form, and why your kitsune form, and why you prefer your fox form. It's quite nice just running about like this, with the somewhat breeze as you run through the air. The air pushes against your, how just the breeze feels against your fur. It's quite nice, quite relaxing. And as the fox, I just come and go, I guess so. Never really thought of it like that. I generally liked it because it's a lot more comfortable sleeping as a fox than it is as a kitsune. Should just try and go, don't know, though I find it harder to sleep as a fox. Well, never actually tried sleeping as a fox. I'd presume if I did in Konoha, I'd probably find it easier to sleep as a kitsune, due to the fact you said I was a snow kitsune, right? Yes. Or a snow fox, snow kitsune. Which would just mean you being now then completely covered in fur would, yeah, you'd probably end up getting too hot and never being able to sleep, or end up overheating and possibly, well, not really dying because you have me in you, but yeah, it would be agonizing to say the least. And yeah, and after a while the sun somewhat started to set, and even as it somewhat was setting, as it would get less and less bright, though she could still somewhat very much easily make out obviously the sea, I think that yeah, eventually night would fall and she still wasn't quite there yet, maybe an hour, maybe in like half an hour to an hour away, as she was somewhat running, not really. She's, well, I guess somewhat in a jog, whatever that is for a giant 10-foot tall two-tailed fox. Yeah, she wasn't running at full speed or channeling chakra. Oh yeah, she was somewhat just enjoying the breeze at the moment. And yeah, and even as it was night, she could still see. And she'd go, "Hey, Kura, why? You're a fox. Kit. You're fox Naruto, plus you're a kitsune. You are gonna have better night vision than you did as your normal, well, your old self. So you can see better at night. You can see just as good as, I guess, a fox, I think. Maybe better due to the fact you're a 10-foot tall fox. That's more like can enter your eyes, and as such you can see somewhat clearer. Though for any human on the somewhat boat or that, you just end up, and well, if you to somewhat stop in front of near to a boat, though they can see you, all they'd see would be two giant glowing blue orbs staring at them, which, yeah, and I'd go, I didn't really think about that. Just fox the trunk. Doesn't really matter. And well, yeah, another hour later and should meet land for, well, another hour later and should meet some of whirlpools and the islanders. Should as fox go, you're gonna have to jump over these Kit, not unless you can increase the size to, I don't know, 60 foot tall, so you can just step over the yeah, so somewhat turn around, walk back, well, jog back a bit before turning around and, well, running at full speed and channeling chakra. So she's going pretty fast and then leap with somewhat just, well, yeah, jump, leap over the whirlpools that was somewhat protecting Uzugakure. Or, well, yeah, or, well, no, not Uzugakure, but Uzushio, the island. When she'd land, she'd somewhat slightly let her yawn as the fox would go, well, guess we should somewhat sleep tonight, and now that we're here, shrink down to maybe a foot tall, like say 2 foot tall fox, and continue to somewhat walk into the forest a bit before, sleeping, or yeah, she'd somewhat just nod, and yeah, she'd somewhat find a nice, somewhat small clearing, and yeah, she'd somewhat curl up into a ball and would fall asleep. The next morning, she'd somewhat yawn and would look around and would somewhat smile, and yes, there was almost, and she was definitely sure that she'd be labelled as a missing nin, and any of her friends, and obviously San Gakure and probably the Land of Snow, her Princess Kayuki, I think that's her name, 1 second, Kayuki Kazahain, I think that's how you say her name, yeah. Now to be wondering if Kazuki was either somewhat worried, curious on why her friend went missing in status. That's even if Kunha would tell her. And she had no real way to tell her what she's doing, and that she plans on somewhat living in the land of snow. So and she somewhat hopes her friend would actually accept her. And anyway, and Fox would then tell her, well, now comes the somewhat funniest part to find Uzugakure, though on the island it's just finding it, and the best way to find it is to jack your size up, which will possibly ruin the forest slightly, but a bit of destruction to find that village. That would allow a slight sigh, but and go, how big? As the fox go, well, I'd say at least maybe say 5 foot taller than the tallest tree, which should just somewhat nod, and seeing the tallest tree of what she could around her would then go to around say 25 foot tall. In her kitsune state, which was somewhat nearing the largest she can get at the moment in her fox form. And she'd look over, being somewhat surprised on just on somewhat how slightly small things looked being 25 foot tall. Anyway, though, she'd then somewhat look over and could see something, so she'd start walking, and no one then would somewhat just go screw it and would leap and would land a good maybe say 10 to 15 foot away, and she'd clearly see it, and she'd go, and the fox go, well, guess we found it. That was pretty easy. It would go, well, I guess you had the point being 25 foot tall. It does have its benefits, though it has more downsides than benefits, as you're just wide open, you have too many blind spots, which the fox would just agree with her, and there's almost 0 point trying to argue. That is sure being taller, but sure being more powerful, but the more powerful you are, the more people you attract to try and get your power. So she had quite a strong point there. Anyway, she then somewhat shrink herself down to around 5 foot tall, and would continue to walk forward up until she would meet the front gates of Uzugakure, which were pretty much falling off that. Well, one was on the floor, as she'd sigh as she'd then revert back to her kitsune form. I should have both her tail. She'd somewhat have both her tails out for maybe a second or two before she'd bring in one of her tails. So she'd only have one of her tails out. She'd then start walking amongst the ruins of Uzugakure, and she could somewhat only imagine people with possibly a majority of red heads, with maybe a couple of somewhat like Snow white haired people, somewhat dotted around. And somewhat it hurt as it made just somewhat imagine how it could have been 30-40 years ago. She just allow a sigh, a somewhat sad sigh, as yeah. No, anyway, 3 hour a week would go by. She'd find, well, yeah. Oh, yeah, 3 days into the week, she'd find the library, and, well, to her surprise, it was actually fully intact. Not really being one of the few damaged buildings, though it somewhat on the outside just looked like an everyday somewhat house, or from the few of the houses that had survived, that's what it looked like. Though once she'd entered it, it was massive. It dwarfed what the house was, and she was wondering what on earth was going on. What was this trickery? Though the fox could only say, could somewhat only answer with, this is what Funjutsu can do. And yeah, the fox probably, and I bet this was probably, keeping this place is probably, I don't know, maybe got another year or two left before it runs out, and all these books are gone for good. So yeah, and she'd go, well, how exactly am I gonna, well, as I said, firstly, learn at least level 1 Funjutsu, so you can make a ceiling scroll, then find an empty scroll, draw obviously a seal on it, and then, and I guess find a couple, and then seal just all of the library into it. And if you can find enough, if you can find enough, then say make selected, say scrolls, say 1 for, say Kenjutsu, and say 1 for ninjutsu, and then say fire, earth, water, wind, and lightning, and other stuff, which is why I'd taken up the other amount of her time. It was actually, to a surprise, relatively easy to learn level 1, though for the fox that I'd also tried to learn it from watching Naruto go through the book. It flew straight over its head, and it couldn't make heads or tails of it. So I could read it, but it couldn't for the life of the fox. Couldn't understand it, make heads or tails of it. So yeah, it was pretty much yeah, and it understood obviously fusion and that, yet it couldn't understand Funjutsu. It couldn't understand Uzumaki Funjutsu, or it was, yeah, it couldn't exactly understand how Naruto could say it was easy whilst it flew over the foxes, whilst it flew over its own head. Though obviously it seemed that obviously being a Uzumaki would understand it. And anyway, yeah, and she'd somewhat she'd learnt it within a day, and then it proceeded to make, she'd found plenty of empty scrolls, and managed to fill up the entire library. Though the fox had told her to somewhat look around Uzugapre just in case she may find something. And she'd ended up going to the somewhat tower where she presumed the leader, or the Uzukage, if they went like that, possibly worked, and then maybe go to the bottom, because she knew, or at least for Kandai, if you somehow manage to go below the tower, there's the Hokage vault, where the Hokage, obviously it's, just jutsu that the Hokage somewhat has, or what the Hokages have put in. So yeah, there may be something there, possibly. So she'd find the light, she'd enter, and then we'd eventually find the hidden entrance, and after that she'd walk down, and after walking down maybe 50-60 flights of stairs, she'd come across the vault, though somewhat like in somewhat kind of her case, it was also blood seal, so she'd somewhat just try, she'd bite her finger, swipe the bloodied thumb over the seal before trying to chakra into it, hoping that she may be related to the last Uzu cage, which to both her and Grandma's surprise it seemed to be true, as the somewhat massive metal, probably adamantium rods would shift downwards and would somewhat creak as it would swing inwards, opening. And yeah, there was not that many things which they'd presumed either was, well, clear it wasn't raided, which meant that there was only two things, which were two scrolls. She'd go over to one and she'd pick it up and she'd open it, and she'd then immediately close it, knowing that was a sealing scroll, and not exactly wanting to release whatever's in there in the vault, because it may obviously have everything that's meant to be here, and should look over and open this second one, both being kind of secured by a blood seal. After opening the second one, it would then have a message which would just simply state that to any of my people that read this, well, to my family that read this, Gakure is under attack. I'm sealing everything within the scroll that should be next to this one. Everything that all the other leaders of Gakure have in that scroll, everything that's in this vault is in that scroll. So everything in that scroll, everything belongs to you, whoever you may be. Heck, you may not even go by the Uzumaki name. You may not even know what the Uzumakis are. Maybe 100-200 years before anyone reads this, but I hope this helps you in your journey to become a ninja. That's even if ninjas are around in 100-200 years or so. So yeah, I hope this helps you on your journey. And yeah, with that, so then roll the scroll back up after finishing reading it, and would then somewhat pocket the 200 goes. So I've looked over the entire place, besides from somewhat, well, yeah, there's really nothing else here besides from obviously clothes, which she'd also somewhat sealed, and they were somewhat they were kind of intact like the day they were made, or that, which was obvious as they were somewhat either in scrolls, which obviously people had probably opened up, checked, saw it was just closed, resealed it, and left them there. So yeah, in one of them, she'd actually found the outfit that you see on the left, and somewhat liking it, she'd decided that once she gets to the land of snow, she'd wear it. But for right now, she'd wear her current outfit that is on the right side of the screen. course, again, minus the katana. She doesn't have that yet. Doesn't have a sword yet. And yes, I do plan on giving her a sword anyway. Yeah, the fox would then say, well, Kit, let me take control for a minute. As I'd go, huh? Why? Well, you want the kitsune / fox summoning contract now, don't you? I should go, right, yeah. That day I somewhat forgot about that. Fox is just sweat and drop. Though, no matter somewhat how maybe slight, well, yeah, no matter what, Naruto was still very much Naruto, no matter how possibly smarter she may get. Naruto will still be Naruto and forget these things. Anyway, yeah, the fox would Naruto would easily hand over control to the fox, and the fox would go through some hand signs. Our eyes would go from the blue light to obviously crimson red. And yeah, the fox would run through some unknown hand signs before slamming Naruto's hand to the floor and yelling out, summoning jutsu, and then in a giant puff of smoke. Well, would hit both her hands on the floor. So a double summoning as two puffs of smoke, one big, one somewhat smaller, but still big puff of smoke. The small puff of smoke was the current holder of the contract, and the giant puff of smoke was the current kind of pseudo leader. I say pseudo leader as Kurama is the somewhat true leader, though since Kurama is currently sailed away inside of Naruto, he can't be the leader thus. And yeah, due to the fact Kurama doesn't, prefers to spend its time in the human mode and not its the kitsune / fox summoning realm world. Yeah. Anyway, the giant being would look down and would go, I sense my chakra in me. Yes, I know. Stupid old fox. As it quack now, as it go, Kurama, I should go, no, you stupid old thing. The reason why I look like this is A, I'm sealed inside of this person, and B, this is the part my third container or Jinchuriki is allowing me control at the moment, and I also wish for you to give her the summoning contract to the kitsune / foxes. The giant being will go, how do I know it's you? I'm the only one that can summon you. Well, not really, I guess. There's also me and then our old summoner who's dead by now, but yeah, I'm and my and my jailer is really the only one that can summon you or use here. As it just go, I guess you're right there, though. Do you mind explaining why she has white tail and ears? Though also she has, yes, I know too much shock to be a one-tailed kitsune. She has two, and also she's not an exact kitsune. She's half human, half tailed beast, Biju. And Kurama would tell what happened for Naruto to go from being human to being half human, half nine-tailed, well, yeah, half, nine-tailed Bijou. Anyway, after explaining that, it would quite happily agree for Naruto to have it. And Kruma would then switch back with her eyes going to a baby blue colour. And she would then go over to the scroll, bite her thumb, and would then write her name down. It would then somewhat glow before fading to a black. And the giant fox will go, "Well, you're our new summoner, and you can call upon us at any time whenever you need, whenever you say you require help, young Naruto." Naruto would just nod and would say, "Thank you," which would just nod before bidding her farewell and disappearing in a puff of smoke. And she would then go, so hey Kura, yes Kit, they do have messenger foxes, so yes, you can write a message and have it go to wherever. She'd somewhat let a slight sigh of relief, and would then, I was just about to bite my phone. She'd bite her thumb, run through the hand signs, and then slam her hand on the ground. Would think of what fox should want, which would be a messenger fox or kitsune, either one. A puff smoke later, and somewhat like staring at her. Well, yeah, a three-tailed fox would be, a three-tailed kitsune would be staring at her. No, yeah. And she'd go, you're, I presume you're a new summoner, right? As Naruto would just nod, hi, I am. Well, I am a messenger summon, so a messenger fox, so do you have a message you want to deliver, or was this just a trial run and you didn't? It's like, yes, I have a message I want to give a friend. And the fox would nod and go, and why would you like this message to be? Where is this friend of yours? This friend is Kayuki Kazahine, the current daimyo of the land of snow, or spring snow, I believe it's called at the moment. It would just nod and would then hold out its hand as Naruto would give the fox, the kitsune, a scroll, as it would then bid her farewell as it would disappear in a puff of smoke. And that's where I'm going to end it here, guys. So if you have enjoyed this part, tell me in the comments down below, and of course you don't have to worry. Anyway, part 4 will be out Friday, and then Monday the 7th you get whatever. Anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed this, tell me in the comments down below, and have a good day or night wherever you are. Hope you have a good day, stay safe, and goodbye. Goodbye. Damn it, my voice is gone. Goodbye, guys.